able to take the longboard into work today, and I got to Bath and it was a little bit wetter than it was here, so I decided to go on the roads. And while I was going on the road, literally, I normally go from the park and ride, pavement, join a back road, join the river, go. And then essentially when I get to the centre of Bath, I join the main roads again. Because they're like slower, smaller roads with less people. I'm looking for this saucepan here. This time I left and I went on the main road up until the point where I got into town. That was my plan. What I actually did was go on the main road until the point where I was behind a bus that was pulled in to let people on. I wobbled, like came out into the main road to go like around it, like swooped over into the middle of the road, and then started to put my foot down to get around it. Then it just indicated and pulled out, like so quickly. It was just like, boop, gone. And it didn't even, well, maybe it didn't see me. Maybe it looked while I was still like behind it. And then I like came out, and then as I came out it just indicated and went. And I had to like brake heavily. It's the first time I've essentially had to do an emergency stop on the board. And I just went like, hit the brake, slowed down enough, and then like stepped off the front of it because I'd like slowed down that aggressively. And when you brake on a long board like this, I'm trying to remember what you do now. You put all your weight on your front leg, because then, is it the back leg? It feels normal. Wait there. I'll actually press the stop button. Yeah, so you put your weight on your back leg, because as the board starts to go that way, you know what I mean. You've got to redistribute your weight. When you accelerate, you put your foot on the front leg. Yeah, it feels small and lightweight in comparison. So I like did that enough, and then stepped off the front of it, and then like there was cars behind me, obviously. So I'm now a couple of steps ahead of my thing. The board's behind me. I press the accelerator to like scoot it along. It scoots past me and I just jump on and carry on going like that. That experience was like, maybe you should either not go on these roads, i.e. if it's this wet, get the bus. Or, because those roads always seem to be dry, I assume it's because it's the number of cars on them. So either don't go on those roads, or maybe think about wearing a helmet, because like that could have actually been quite bad. Either way, it was good fun. And I was I was well chuffed with the way it just went. I was like, whoa, shit, okay. Bam! It wasn't that smooth IRL, it was probably like, bam, bam. Like, obviously I put one foot on it first and then, yeah, who knows. So, that was good fun. Otherwise today we were churning through some stuff. I managed to get a technical debt story out because we've just done a big redesign, so we've been like trying to stay away from doing things on the front end. So we've been doing a lot of things on the back end, and the redesign went in, so we were able to merge on top of it and just start pushing things through. So I pushed in a quick technical debt to keep the testers busy, sorted that out, and then I was joining a rebase on a certain feature. Meanwhile, my teammate, he was rebasing something else to make that look pretty, pushed that through to the front end, and got that through test. And then what we realised was, everything we've been doing so far, because of this imminent redesign, we've basically been able to just throw whatever shit we wanted onto the web page. It didn't look bad, but it didn't look good. And we knew there was always this caveat that we were going to re-go over it with a paintbrush and it was going to look pretty. But that was not the case. So, because this time, I had to move this fucking... Normally I would have just smacked the fucking delete button on there and it would have been great. But this delete button had to be one that was like in a certain place, and it's because it's all like material, it's got to be like there, it's got to look pretty. And I took like 2 or 3 hours that I would not have taken otherwise. CSS, right, obviously C#, back-end languages, given me, I'll take them all day. No problem. JavaScript, less confident, but give it to me, I'll fucking sort it for you, boy. CSS can go suck a dick. Shit. So yeah, I got it sorted. I managed to get someone's help just before the end of the day. And then overhung a little bit, and then we managed to get there. I think I've got it running and it works nicely, it's nice and responsive. I've got to run it through the BAs to see if they like it, and then I'll push it into test, which is good stuff. Otherwise, that will then release me on doing some other things. Like I say, now the UI's there, we've got a load of stories we've just like half done, because we've done half the back end, so it's just going to be like... So, had a really good lunch today with my teammate. Went out for a wander and had a bit of chinwag, which was good fun. Also, my boss as well, because we have like one-to-ones every other Thursday. So that was good. And someone asked me about like my longboard and was like, is that like a boosted board? And I'm like, it is like a boosted board, but if you want a boosted board, just look at these first, because I think these are better. So there's that. There's things. We're back. Laura's really late home from work again. Fortunately, because I went out for lunch, I had like a sandwich, and then I didn't come back and eat the rest of my stuff, like an apple. So I had a little bit of supper? snack when I came home. And now I'm just sorting out the dinner for Laura. I'm going to make my sandwiches for tomorrow. Also sorted out my video. I haven't had a nap because I didn't wake up early this morning. I knew that I was going out for lunch and stuff, so I was already out of the habit, so I just wanted to stay out of the habit, and now tonight we'll get back on it again, get back on the predictive hype train, stay on it, hopefully. Yeah. Just got to the park and ride, and like school kids go through the park and ride to get to like I assume a school. Two kids are just pushing each other around, like on the left of my car there, and another kid from over there goes, "Hey, there's ice," and they stop fighting while pushing each other around, run across and just slide around on the ice for a little bit. Fucking kids, eh? Just drop into eco for a little bit so I can chat. This morning I fucked up waking up again. I literally just went straight through my alarm, like it never even went off. And Laura woke me up at 6:30. She's like, "You need to get up," and I'm like, "I know," and I thought it was 2 when she was telling me that, and it wasn't. I'm thinking wait until Monday and then we'll jump back into it again. But this weekend's going to be a bit too hectic, so we'll try and stay away from it. God damn. So that's always good fun. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm playing at. I've been just a bit shit recently. Otherwise, as well, there's something else I was going to tell you. I can't remember what it was. Is it to do with longboard? No, it's to do with the kids on the ice. Just brought the board out for a bit of a joyride at lunch and took it onto some grass, which was a bit wetter than I thought it would be, and then ended up basically doing donuts because it would just keep spinning until it beached itself. I also need to clean the board a bit. It gets really muddy, like where obviously your feet get wet, and then like if you push in like a wet area, it gets the board muddy. It's the downside of like grip tape because it's obviously really grippy and it just grabs onto all the dirt. Good fun today, day to day, of like carrying over a story for the other team. Brought in a story of my own into the thing. We've got like 4 branches all on the go, ready to go into test. It's crazy, but it was a jolly productive day, and that's the way it is. Having some significant problems with Laura's laptop / my old laptop. It won't do Windows updates because there's not enough fucking memory on it, and it won't do it to the hard drive. It's quite annoying. It keeps like just failing, and I think it's failing because it's like going to sleep and locking itself. It's pissed me off. I'm stuck, guys. I'm stuck. I got up early this morning and started doing some programming, and I've finished off the basic part of my API gateway, my service fabric. So I have the basically like the default route, which is basically like a reverse proxy for my microservices, and then I also have my GraphQL endpoint which sits on top. Those are done. The GraphQL thing needs fleshing out with the rest of the things that are there. It's just got like 2 basic calls on it at the moment, but I'm trying to do the pass-through thing, and the problem I have is that my microservices currently return that's a bad idea. They currently return a object. If it doesn't know how to get you the details, it knows where it lives, so it returns a reference object, and that object at the moment is a description of the microservice that holds it. So out of the 10 microservices that may be hosted there, you say this is the one that you want to go to, like the repository service, let's say. And then it will give you the path to go to. So it's basically like the repository service has what you want. Go find out where the repository service is yourself, because I don't know. It's not my job to know. Oh, and here's how you get to it. So the problem I have is that's obviously coming back in the JSON. So my API gateway, it's not possible to hit that microservice outside of the API gateway. The API gateway has to hit it on your behalf. So the API gateway has to basically pretend to be a different service. So I'm trying to figure out a way of basically like stripping the JSON that's been returned from that service of the reference object, resolving it to the address that you have to hit the API gateway to get, and then spitting it back out that way. And it's a bastard. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to do it. Like I said, I got up at 6 this morning, not early, and was like finished off the majority of the stuff, and I've been like kind of bashing my head against it since we've had lunch. We've gone out for a walk, done a couple of like, we've done the whites wash and stuff, and now I've just got to figure this out, you know? It is a problematic problem. Because basically what I've got is I've got some JSON that could have an object on it. If it has this object on it, I want to serialize that object, resolve it into something else, put it through an automapper to get something else, and then replace that object from the JSON with my new object. That's what I want to do, and I don't know how.
Yes, you little shit.
Right there is my microservice server going off to the microservice, getting the data, getting it in the object and the shape that it wants it in, i.e. ID, type, URL, credentials, and then just fucking did whatever the fuck it wanted with all those values and canned them. I can change entire objects, so the credentials is the object which is the reference object, and now that is just getting fucked off with whatever the fuck I want it to be. And I even have access to the real object that it was at the time as well, so I can drive the thing through a mapper if I want to. I set all the others to suck a fucking dick, just because one of them was the URL, and you're not supposed to see that. Fuck me. Right, okay, so that works. I need to tidy it up, and then I need to actually do the resolving bit. But I've just proved a concept, and it's okay. Performance isn't too bad either. It takes... Oh no, actually. I was looking at the wrong fucking number there. Oh no, but that one's not doing that. It's about twice as slow as the GraphQL call, but still like half a second. There is a performance hit to this, and whether or not I like kind of tell it which ones to do it to, i.e. the API gateway knows which time when it needs to start looking for this thing, or whether or not I just do it on every single request. I'm going to leave it on every request for now, and then we'll see how it goes. But if I need a way to speed it up, I can just go through them all and be like, that one potentially sends back a reference object, that one reference object, that one reference object, and those just become slower. It's not ideal, but if we ever need to fix it in the future, we can. Also, I've been fighting with Laura's laptop. We managed to, well, I managed to wipe it, because basically it has a load of my development. I used it at university for my final year, for at least half the year, and it had some Windows updates that were trying to come in, but there weren't enough space for it, because who the fuck invented 64GB Windows laptops, am I right? Such a pain in the arse. But it's the one that Corey sent me, obviously. And it wouldn't install the thing because there wasn't enough hard drive space for it. So I'm like, right, fuck this. I'm just going to rip it down to its core. And I'm like, so you go through the options to reset the entire laptop, remove everything from it, and it's like, I need some more memory before you do this, bro. And I'm like, if I could figure out how to make more space on you, I would have already done it. Why do you need more space to delete everything? That doesn't make sense. So that was fun. But we got it down. It's stripped down now to its bare bones. And we're now just basically a Chromebook, which is the way it should be, instead of having a load of random dev stuff installed on it and whatnot. I spent my morning sorting that out, and then I spent just sorting out my video and that lot as well. So yeah, that's really frustrating. God damn it. And ironically, the way I managed to find space was I literally just went into the Windows folder. Don't do this. Into the Windows folder and just deleted things at random. Not at random, semi-amount of logic to it. But yeah, so that's how I managed to do it, and then I managed to get myself 2 to 3 gigs and then stripped it all down, and it was all great. I was going on a little bit of a run, and I came out with her on my old longboard. See, I can pick up a decent amount of speed on this without an electric motor, so I thought it'd be a bit mean me coming out with actual electricity powering me on, but also I'd have to be in like the slow mode, which is really fucking boring. So I thought I'd bring this out for a spin. And you know what? It's really difficult. It's so light that you just like struggle to push it. I'm really like wobbly when I push it, and also it does not turn for shit compared to my other longboard. I have to put my entire weight on it, and it will just like slightly go. Whereas my other board will be like wobbling all over the place. Tell you what I do miss about my other longboard is the ability to just go like that and just chuck it on the floor, whoop, 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 steady. Or literally just throw it, let it go into the fucking grass. Jesus Christ, doing it with the wrong hand. That's the problem, guys. Doing that and then just going. My other board, you have to like carefully put down and then step on it, not just chuck it, you know. It seemed a bit mean me leaving Laura to go on like an hour more run, but we've had a long day of bonding, so I was going to head back. I was going to do some programming, but I might have to do some icing for a cake. This longboard has its place. It's definitely more portable than my other longboard. It's like I say, it's a lot harder to ride now. I'm used to the other one. Anyway, last night we went out for birthday meal and some drinks. With Beth and Ben. We went to a lovely Thai place. Been there before, it was delicious. It's got like, it's like a really sweet curry with like pineapple and grapes in it. It's really, really nice. I had it last time. Had it again because it was so good. So, last night we had quite a late night because of that. Came back, got up this morning, and we've like done the clothes wash. Got another clothes wash to do. So we seem to do 3 washes a week now, not 2, which is annoying. Still got ironing to do, and what else do we have to do? Ironing, cooking, obviously, and then yeah, finishing off this cake. Also, like, really want to. God, this is like quick cruising speed, and it feels so slow. Also, I really want to like tidy up the thing I was doing yesterday. Now I've figured it out and know how to do it. I just need to tidy it all up and actually sit down and do the work. But I've had no opportunity to do that today, so I'm probably going to do it in the morning, really early in the morning. We're going to be getting up. New year, new me. Going to be starting to work really hard again. Got to get back on the mindset. I feel like I've been in a really like distracted or lazy mindset with it at the moment. And that's going to change as of this week. I probably said that past a couple of weeks ago, but you know. This roll though, man, I haven't pushed in ages. This is impressive. This is what it's like on the other board if I don't have the big tyres on. Essentially get it to speed and then just roll. But also this is like showcases as flat as you think this path is, it actually isn't. It is downhill. I was also saying to Laura, like, it will not be long until I'm able to go all the way on my other longboard to work. Because it is like dry enough today, for example. But the thing it isn't is consistently dry. It's not reliable. There's a % chance of rain today and it just happened not to. That is not the same as being able to like predict it'll be dry all day enough to go on the other longboard, on the other wheels. Having said that though, I might soon change to the other wheels just to get used to it, but still not go the entire way. We'll see. Lack of brakes and lack of steering. God damn, that's terrifying. I can make the icing without icing the cake, that's okay. So I will do that. Put wash on, make the icing, maybe find time to do some programming. Check me out, I'm like a domestic dog. I did mess up the icing a little bit, but Laura came home and was able to fix it, so that's not a problem. Had a lovely, lovely cake. Well, it's covered up, so I won't show you. It's like lemon drizzle and orange cake. It's really nice. On the book or anything though, so it's sad times. Right, waking up. I need to finish off my API gateway, get that all finished and all like nice and arrow straight and ready to rock and roll. Maybe transfer it to my laptop as well, so that we can then start progressing things otherwise. Also, I hadn't renewed my Xbox Live because I don't play Xbox, and I was planning on like renewing it kind of like further away from Christmas, just because like the first couple of months in the new year are always the most expensive for me. Is my phone bothering? Because of like things like because I made the foolish mistake of buying a car around Christmas and all that kind of stuff. So I was trying to push it further away. We went to try and play a game that we downloaded, and it's like, yo, your Xbox Live's run out and you're not allowed to play this game because it's like one of the Xbox Live Gold games. If you want to play this game, you got to renew your membership. I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I renewed it. It was like, hey, do you want to auto renew on here for £40, or I'll go on Amazon and renew for £34 and get the code instantaneously. And all I had to do was just type it in, and that was the only. So I paid £6 for the. No, I saved £6 for the hardship of having to type it in rather than just it auto renew. Maybe my birthday, and it may be a Monday, and I may be going to have to go to work in a couple of hours, but that doesn't mean I haven't got 3.5 hours worth of programming under my belt this morning already. My API gateway is finished. It's all nice and like configurable and stuff. There's one thing that I might need to try and figure out. I feel like I might need to include the type of the object available at the resource, or some way to identify what that is. The API gateway, I've got it coming out, but I don't have it at the API gateway because it's not at. It's a generic class. It's a generic type. There's a reference object which has all the information to it, and then there's a interface that then implements that adds on like a type reference to be like, hey, by the way, this is the type that you'd expect if you hit this API. The problem with that is I then can't just serialize that out. I can't just go, bam, there you go, because of type invariance and all that kind of fun stuff. I may look into that. Otherwise, what I am doing is looking into how to host my Swagger file in the API gateway. I was looking for some kind of automated way of collecting all of the other Swagger files and just kind of merging them into one, but I think I might have to do it for like a couple of manual steps. And also can't remember how you manually host a Swagger file instead of having it auto-generated for you, so trying to figure all that kind of stuff out. Otherwise, because it's my birthday, obviously I feel like I'm going to be eating a lot of shit today. I'm going to end up having, obviously, my breakfast, lunch and stuff at work, dinner, and then we'd also have cake when we get home after shopping, and I've got to buy birthday tax at work, so I'm thinking of buying a shit ton of cookies from like Millie's Cookies or something. But this morning, I'm going to treat myself to some crumpets. It's going to be another cold week. Also, full transparency, Laura got me one of them tyre pumps that you plug into your car and it pumps up your tyres. And I spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out how to get it to attach to my longboard tyres. So I'm running late. First got on that longboard this morning, I friggin' nearly fell off it because of how sharply it turns. So, god damn, that is insane. But cruised in, absolutely fine. Running a little bit late, obviously, because of the fucking tyre valve. I'm now heading to go get some birthday tax. Got the board home after thingy, and I figured out, after shopping and after fixing Laura's gears on a bike, I figured out how the tyre pump works. And there's a bit of a design flaw because it's a screw-on. Right, and obviously, if anyone's ever done a valve before you get to the bit where you can start putting in air, it's got to be like not open, and if you press it like so it's not open, it just pisses out air. So you screw it on, nothing happens, it starts pissing out air, and then it's locked, and then you're like, cool. Press a little compressor, the compressor makes all the noise in the world and pumps it full of air, which is great. Then you have to unscrew it, which obviously means going from tight enough to pump air in to tight enough to piss air out to loose. And you better do that pretty fucking quick, boy. It'll be alright like on a car or on a bike, but obviously there's not actually much air in that longboard. So there's the difference between like 50 psi and 25 psi isn't actually all that great. But it was on 25 and now it's on a nice crisp, rock solid 55 maybe, minus however much pissed out when I unscrewed. Sacrifice a little bit of comfort, but you get a high top speed and better range, which is what I'm all about, which matters a lot in the cold weather. Like, it's insane how much the cold weather saps the battery. But yeah, so I could tell that it was like running low because it was running slower. It was like maxing out at like 19 mile an hour on flat, and obviously it normally gets to like 22, and there's no reason why it would do that on like looking at like the belt and stuff. So I'm like, it's got to be the tire pressure, boy. It was. Anyway, I've had a great day. Do I need to end this video? I've had a great day. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. The one thing I'm going to say is this year is do or die. I'll be 25 next year, and it's do or die. So let's fucking do. I'll catch you later.